The rain fell in sheets against the hospital windows as Daniel Hayes held his newborn son for the first time. The tiny bundle, wrapped in a blue blanket, weighed almost nothing in his trembling hands. Just 6 hours earlier, Daniel had been a husband eagerly awaiting fatherhood. Now, he was a widower cradling his son while his wife's body lay cold in a room down the hall. "It's just us now, Noah," he whispered, his voice breaking. "Just you and me." The complications had come suddenly during delivery, a hemorrhage the doctors couldn't control. Rebecca had squeezed Daniel's hand one last time, whispered, "Take care of our boy," and then she was gone, leaving Daniel with a broken heart and a newborn who would never know his mother. The drive home 3 days later was the longest of Daniel's life. The car seat in the back held his sleeping son, while the passenger seat beside him remained painfully empty. The nursery they had painted together in soft greens and yellows waited at home, filled with Rebecca's touches, the rocking chair she had refinished, the mobile she had crafted by hand, the children's books she had collected since they first learned she was pregnant. Daniel's mother met them at the door, her eyes red-rimmed but determined. "One day at a time," she told him, taking the baby carrier from his numb fingers. "That's all you can do." The first weeks passed in a fog of grief and exhaustion. Daniel learned to function on fragments of sleep, to decipher Noah's different cries, to change diapers and prepare bottles with mechanical precision. During the day, he went through the motions. At night, when Noah finally slept, Daniel would sit in the rocking chair and let the tears come. "I don't know how to do this without her," he confessed to his mother one morning, after a particularly difficult night. "Rebecca was supposed to be here. We were supposed to do this together." His mother placed a gentle hand on his shoulder. "You're not doing it alone. You have me, your father, Rebecca's parents. We're all here." "But I'm his father," Daniel said. "It's my responsibility." "Being a good father doesn't mean doing everything yourself," she replied. "It means giving him what he needs, even if that sometimes means accepting help." Slowly, Daniel created a new normal. He returned to his job as an architectural engineer, finding a daycare that sent him photos throughout the day. He joined a support group for widowed parents, where he met others navigating the same impossible terrain. He learned to cook simple, nutritious meals that could be prepared one-handed while holding Noah. When Noah took his first steps at 11 months, Daniel recorded the wobbly journey across the living room floor, narrating for Rebecca as if she could hear. "He's doing it, Beck. Look at him go." Later that night, he watched the video alone, crying for the milestone she had missed. As Noah grew from baby to toddler, Daniel faced new challenges. The questions began when Noah was 3, innocent but devastating in their simplicity. "Where's my mommy?" Noah asked one evening as Daniel tucked him into bed. Daniel had prepared for this moment, consulting child psychologists and reading books on explaining death to children. Still, his heart hammered as he sat on the edge of Noah's bed. "Your mommy loved you very much," he began, showing Noah the photograph that sat on his nightstand, Rebecca, radiant in the summer sun, her hands cradling her pregnant belly. "She was so excited to meet you. But sometimes, even when people want to stay more than anything, they have to go to heaven. Can we visit her?" Noah asked. Daniel swallowed hard. "We can't visit heaven, but we can talk to her. She can hear us, even though we can't hear her back." Noah considered this, his small brow furrowed in concentration. "Does she know I can ride a bike now?" "She knows," Daniel assured him, voice thick. She sees everything you do. As the years passed, Daniel became adept at being both mother and father, learning to braid hair for Noah's Viking costume, hosting playdates with other children, navigating the complex social dynamics of elementary school. He kept Rebecca alive through stories, photographs, and small traditions. On her birthday each year, they released paper lanterns into the night sky. On Mother's Day, they planted something new in the garden she had loved. When Noah was 7, Daniel received a promotion that would require them to move to another state. The opportunity was significant, a substantial raise, a chance to design sustainable housing that had been his professional dream. But it would mean leaving the support system they had built, the home where Rebecca's presence still lingered in every corner. "What do you think, buddy?" Daniel asked Noah as they sat on the porch swing one evening. It would be a big change. New house, new school, new friends. Noah kicked his legs thoughtfully. Would Mom know where to find us? The question caught Daniel off guard. Of course she would, he said after a moment. Mom is always with us, no matter where we go. Then I think we should go, Noah decided. You always say Mom wanted you to build houses that help the planet. Daniel marveled at his son's resilience, his ability to embrace change despite the early loss that had shaped his life. When did you get so wise? He asked, ruffling Noah's hair. I get it from you, Dad, Noah replied simply. The move proved to be a turning point. In their new city, Daniel found not only professional fulfillment but also a community that embraced them both. Noah thrived in his new school, making friends quickly and joining the soccer team. For the first time since Rebecca's death, Daniel began to feel that they were not just surviving but truly living. It was at one of Noah's soccer games that Daniel met Claire, a pediatric nurse with a quick laugh and kind eyes. She sat beside him during a particularly tense match, offering commentary that made him chuckle despite his nervousness about Noah's first time as goalkeeper. Your son has good instincts, she observed as Noah made a diving save. He's not afraid to take risks. He gets that from his mother, Daniel replied automatically, then tensed, waiting for the awkward shift that usually followed any mention of Rebecca. But Claire just nodded. That's a wonderful gift she gave him. Their friendship developed naturally over the following months. Claire never pushed for more than Daniel was ready to give, understanding the complex emotions that came with his widowhood. She treated Noah with genuine interest and respect, never attempting to replace Rebecca in his life. When Noah was 9, he approached Daniel with unexpected directness. Dad, is Claire your girlfriend? Daniel nearly choked on his coffee. Why do you ask that? Because you smile different when she's around, Noah said matter-of-factly. And you changed your cologne. Daniel couldn't help but laugh. You notice everything, don't you? Noah shrugged. Mom would want you to be happy. She told me so. Daniel raised an eyebrow. She told you? In my dreams, Noah explained. She visits sometimes. She looks like her pictures, but her voice is different. Softer. That night, after Noah was asleep, Daniel sat alone in the backyard, looking up at the stars. Is he right, Beck? He whispered. Would this be okay with you? The wind rustled through the trees, and Daniel closed his eyes, allowing himself to imagine her answer. After 8 years of raising their son alone, of keeping her memory alive while building a life without her, perhaps it was time to open his heart again. Claire became a gentle presence in their lives, never overstepping but gradually becoming essential to both father and son. She attended Noah's school plays and sports events, taught him to cook his favorite meals, listened patiently to his endless facts about dinosaurs and space. She respected the photographs of Rebecca that remained throughout their home and sometimes asked Daniel to share stories about her. On the 10th anniversary of Rebecca's death, Daniel took Noah to their special spot in the local botanical garden. They sat on a bench beneath a flowering cherry tree, similar to the one under which Daniel and Rebecca had been married. "I have something important to ask you," Daniel said, turning to face his son. "I'm thinking about asking Claire to marry me. But I wanted to talk to you first, because this affects you too." Noah was quiet for a long moment, tracing patterns on the wooden bench with his finger. "Would she be my mom then?" he finally asked. "No one could ever replace your mom," Daniel said firmly. "Claire knows that, and she would never try. She would be your stepmom, someone else who loves you and cares about you." Noah nodded slowly. "I think Mom would like Claire. She makes you laugh again." Daniel pulled his son into a tight hug, overwhelmed by the wisdom of this child who had grown up in the shadow of loss yet remained open to love. "You're the best thing that ever happened to me, you know that? Even better than your cool architect award?" Noah teased, lightening the moment. "Way better," Daniel assured him. Claire said yes to Daniel's proposal, crying happy tears as Noah presented her with the ring his father had entrusted to him. Their wedding was small and meaningful, held in the backyard of the home they would now share. During the ceremony, Noah stood beside his father, holding a framed photograph of Rebecca. "We're not forgetting," Daniel had explained when Noah suggested the idea. "We're expanding our family while honoring where we came from." As the years passed, their family did expand, first with Claire's teenage niece who came to live with them after her parents' divorce, then with a rescue dog Noah had campaigned for relentlessly, and finally with a baby sister who arrived when Noah was 13. Through it all, Rebecca remained a presence in their home and hearts, not as a shadow over their happiness but as the foundation upon which it had been rebuilt. When Noah graduated from high school, standing tall in his cap and gown with acceptance letters from 3 engineering programs, Daniel felt a pride so intense it was almost painful. This confident young man, compassionate and resilient, was the result of a journey that had begun in grief but had found its way to joy. "She would be so proud of you," Daniel told Noah as they stood together after the ceremony. "So am I." Noah adjusted his tassel, a gesture that reminded Daniel powerfully of Rebecca. "I know, Dad. And I'm proud of you too. Not everyone could have done what you did." "What's that?" Daniel asked. "Kept going," Noah said simply. "Kept loving. Kept making sure I knew her, even when it hurt you to remember. That took courage." That night, long after the celebration had ended and the house was quiet, Daniel sat on the porch swing where he had spent countless evenings with Noah throughout the years. Claire joined him, resting her head against his shoulder. "Penny for your thoughts," she said softly. "I was thinking about journeys," Daniel replied. "How they rarely take us where we expect to go." Claire nodded, understanding as she always did. "But sometimes where we end up is exactly where we need to be." Daniel thought about the frightened young father he had been, holding his newborn son in a hospital room while rain lashed against the windows. He thought about all the moments of doubt and fear, the times he'd been certain he was failing, the nights he'd cried himself to sleep from exhaustion and grief. And he thought about where that uncertain journey had led, to this moment of peace, to a family built from both loss and love, to a son who carried the best of his mother forward into the world. Yes, he agreed, squeezing Claire's hand. Exactly where we need to be. In the quiet darkness, Daniel could almost feel Rebecca's approval washing over them like starlight, blessing the path he had walked, the father he had become, the unwavering journey that had begun in heartbreak but had found its way, step by determined step, to healing.